about 7 minutes ago. Spin on a break. This is some case here. This is definitely a serious, serious situation. She's asked for a break, and so while she kicked me in the back, I got a bruise. Hold on. That was somebody calling my phone. Okay, Sean put a wine opener. Hold on. Okay, what videos? Freak off videos of me. Ventura, Sean kicked me in that was responsible for the shooting of Trump at the White House. He was also affiliated with Diddy, and he is claiming that Diddy paid him $5 million for, sexual activities to escort and sexual activities with him and Cassie. They're trying to defend Diddy, and they're coming for her. And I'm very curious to know how they're going to proceed and basically attack her, and catch her. I see one person, and he's not appearing to be too good with this case. Makes you want to cry. It makes you feel so bad for this young lady, for Cassie Ventura. I feel really bad for her, seriously. That she has to go through this, and she's 8 months pregnant. She's on a stand, and she endured this for 10 years. And it's like 12 years later, you're finally able to get it out. Hopefully she can move. The picture that they are painting of Sean Combs is horrific. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't know what he's going to have to do to change the minds of these people, but just listening to her testify, it's just horrifying. Worse and worse by the minute. With it, then what I'm going to do was put some ice on your face. That's the most I could do for you. I can't help you. The 30 million was supposed to make this go away. That's why Puffy paid the 30 million. But to get the 30 million and then still have to come to court and speak about it, it's like, wow, you lost. You lost. Puffy lost all the way around the board. Because if you paid her 30 million and you still being brought up on these charges, then you wasted $30 million. You lost. And she is too, because she didn't really, that was the whole reason for her to take the 30 million, because she didn't want to have to go to court. She didn't expect it to go this far. But now that you have presented all this evidence, you have to speak out now. We have to subpoena you to court. You don't have a choice in this matter. We have to subpoena you to court. So she's not sitting in court because she wants to. She's sitting there because she has to. She has to. You can't take 30 million and then just walk away and think that you don't have to say anything. That's not the way this works. You take 30 million and you still have to come and sit on the stand and tell, hold on, guys. Yes, you guys. So it takes time for everything to come in. It takes time. So just give me a moment while I retrieve all the information for you. So, so she said she. So they were at a restaurant in California, and they were asking, so what was going on between you and him? She said, well, we were having a restaurant conversation at a restaurant in Malibu, and he was trying to convince me to go with the Burning Man. They said, were you seeing anyone? And she says, my now husband. So we're still waiting. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Looks like Sean Combs is in a lot of trouble. Looks like he's going to be in a lot of trouble. This is not nice. This is not looking good. Hold on, let me check if they're back. Hold on. So what happened next? Ventura says, Sean came to my house and raped me on the floor. Ventura says his eyes were black. Ventura says it was like taking something from you. The USA says, did you cry? What did Sean do? Ventura says he continued and he finished having sex with me and he got up and he left. He finished inside of me. He got up and he left. And he left. Whew. This is a whole lot. I mean, this is a whole lot. And for some people, they might say, well, you know, what difference does it make? This is what goes on in different relationships, and that's what men do, but that's not what friends do. That's not what friends do. And before you get involved with somebody in a serious matter, you need to really evaluate if they are a friend. Evaluate if they are a friend. Don't just jump into a relationship with somebody and, you're just going in trying to see if you can establish a relationship with them. Find out, feel like, oh, are they worthy? Are they worthy? Are they a friend? What qualifies somebody to be a friend to you? Before you just jump up and think about, oh, well, he looks like he would be a good friend, or she looks like she would be a good friend, based on how she's dressed or how her hair looks or how this and that. That doesn't, tell you much about a person because they have a nice car or they dress nice, right? You need to take evaluation of people to figure out, are they friendly? Is this what I deem a friend? Understanding, are they good enough? Because you can't be in a relationship with somebody if they're not your friend. If they're not your friend. If somebody's beating you, that's not a friend. Everybody in your life should be a friend. A friend. A friend. Do we really know what a friend is? A friend is not going to beat you. A friend is not going to lie on you. A friend is not going to just leave you somewhere. They go with you somewhere and then they're going to leave you. A friend is not going to sit there and watch you get beat down and not say nothing about it. You know what I mean? Try to find out, are they a friend? Everybody wants to jump into a relationship, jump into a husband and a wife. You can't go from a husband to a wife and then but without understanding, are they a friend? Because in order for you to stay in a relationship with somebody for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, I mean, they have to be a friend. I mean, a friend. You got to know, do somebody know how to be a friend? Is somebody working on how to make themselves a friend? People don't think about this type of stuff. Are you working on how to be a friend to somebody? Because being a friend is what make people want more with you. Are they a friend to you? Right? Are they always a friend to you? A friend is someone that's always nice to you, speaking kind to you. They care about your well being. Do you need something to eat? Would you like to go out? Everything, every response to you is in love, and these are the characteristics that you look for in a person. You don't just jump into a. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me see if I can get some more information. If Ventura, if Cassie has said anything else. Hold on a minute. Okay, so now remember the last thing Cassie said was that he came to her house and he raped her. And then, he finished inside of her and he left. So now the US of A says, did you have sex with him again? She said, yes, voluntarily. I went back to his house and we had sex again. The USA asked her, why did you do this? You've been experiencing the rape, the beatings, all of this with him. Like, why would you allow him to have sex with you again? And Cassie Ventura says, well, I was with him for 10 years. She says, I voluntarily had sex with him again because I was with him for 10 years. The USA says, who did you stay in touch with? Cassie says, with most people, but I pulled away. The USA asks, so what did you say to Sean Combs after, all these little issues y'all had been having? And Cassie Ventura says, I just texted him that I was checking in. The USA says, and what did he send to you? The USA says, and what did he send to you? Ventura says that he had iPads full of photos and to get him his money. Cassie Ventura says that he had iPad photos and to get him his money. Hold on, everybody. I'll be right back. Checking for more footage. Hold on. More footage. Hold on. If you're in a relationship, we're still waiting. We're still waiting for more footage. If you're in a relationship, you don't stay for 10 years with someone. You know they're beating you. They're emotionally abusing you. They're physically abusing you. They're verbally abusing you. You don't stay in relationships for long periods of time enduring this kind of abuse. You don't do that to yourself. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. She stayed with this man for 10 years enduring this abuse. enduring this abuse. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, it's not to say that he's innocent, but there's apparently was something going wrong with her as well. How do you get beat down? Now, I know he's very rich, a mogul. And I do understand that sometimes a woman, especially at a young age like that, you could be so engulfed and in love with a man that big, that huge, a mogul. And you're just so infatuated with that life. And, you almost become a figure in his life. It's like your whole identity is attached to him. It's hard to walk away. It's hard to walk away because she wanted to, she was afraid to run away from she was afraid that exactly what's happening now would happen. And that's why she didn't want to leave, because she was afraid of what is happening right now. So obviously, I guess she could see that there was no way to avoid this, because you were married, you were dating an icon, and you're dating an icon, someone of a star, that whether you stay with him or you leave him, it's going to be public scrutiny. It's going to be public information. It's going to be public information. And now here you are married, through almost 3 children later, and you're dealing with this? It's just crazy. I mean, I feel like she should have dealt with this before she married someone. Like, after experiencing so much trauma like this, how do you go back into another relationship knowing you have all of this trauma going on? How can you love somebody after going through all of this trauma? And, that's the only really small issue that I have and I see, because after experiencing so much of that, wouldn't you want to take time and spend time with yourself, trying to heal yourself and get yourself together, instead of jumping into another relationship and getting married? And I mean, maybe her getting married was her way of really trying to cut him off from her. Maybe she felt that staying free, she wouldn't have been able to get rid of him. So she married and started having children just to, create a boundary. But then at the same time, you're experiencing all this pain and suffering, and you bring that into a marriage. It's hard. It's definitely hard. It must be very hard on her husband to deal with this pain, because she's on the stand crying, emotional. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me go check and see if there's any more information. So now USA says, he wanted money back for what? And Cassie Ventura says, the money back from the trainer who is now my husband. He wanted me to continue to pay him back the money that I owed him. USA says, what did you write back? It says, do you want me to tell the truth? Ventura says, do you want me to tell the truth? Ventura says, it's much deeper than iPads. It's much deeper than iPads. Ventura says, there were more abuse than freak offs. Ventura says, there were more abuse than freak offs. Ventura says, there was a time I couldn't take this pain. Ventura says, I tried to walk out in the traffic. Ventura says, my husband wouldn't let me. Ventura says, my husband wouldn't let me. Ventura says, I had trauma therapy. Ventura says, I had trauma therapy. The U.S. asks her, did you write? The USA asks her, did you write? Ventura says, a book. Ventura says, a book with chapters. Ventura says, a book with chapters. Ventura says, my mom helped me. Ventura says, my mom helped me. The USA says, what did you want with the book? The USA says, what did you want with the book? Ventura says that Sean read it. Ventura says that Sean read it. The USA says, what did Sean put you through? The USA says, what did Sean put you through? Ventura says, shame. Ventura says, shame. Ventura says, to carry the things for him. Ventura says, to carry the things that was shameful for him. Ventura says, I took on a lot of responsibility for that I shouldn't have. Ventura says, I took on a lot of responsibility for that I shouldn't have. Ventura says, he brought the concept to me when I was 22. Ventura says, he brought the concept to me when I was 22. Ventura says, it was expected of me. It was terrible. Ventura says, it was expected of me. It was terrible. The USA says, what happened with the lawsuit? The USA says, what happened with the lawsuit? Ventura says, it settled for $20 million in 24 hours. Ventura says, it settled for $20 million in 24 hours. And I thought it was for $30 million. The USA says, why are you testifying in this trial? The USA says, why are you testifying in this trial? Ventura says, I can't carry this anymore. Ventura says, I can't carry this anymore. Ventura says, what's wrong is wrong. Ventura says, what's wrong is wrong. Ventura says, I tried people like they was, I carried people like they were disposable. Ventura says, I carried people like they were disposable. Ventura says, escorts anybody. Ventura says, escorts anybody. They says, how many freak-offs did you have with Sean Combs? The USA says, how many freak-offs did you have with Sean Combs? Ventura says, impossible to know. Hundreds. Ventura says, impossible to know. Hundreds. She had hundreds. The USA asks, after you broke up with Sean Combs, did you do any more freak-offs? The USA asks, after you broke up with Sean Combs, did you do any more freak-offs? Ventura says, no. Ventura says, no. USA says, no further questions. USA says, no further questions. Okay. So when the USA says no further questions, they have finished their round of questioning. Now we're going into the counter, where the defense is coming forward. Now the defense is coming forward to question Cassie. This is getting ready to go to the next level now. This is getting ready to go to the next level now. So now the USA asks for a sidebar before the cross-examination. The USA has now asked for a sidebar before the cross-examination. So the cross-examination is underway. The cross-examination is underway. Sean Combs's defense team is coming forward, and they're getting ready to question Cassie Ventura. And so she says that right is right and wrong is wrong. And this is why she came out and she's testifying. She said she can't take this. She can't weigh this on herself anymore, that she had to come and testify to get this off of her. So from what I understand, this case is being watched and monitored all over the world, and women's groups are being formed, and it's bringing women together. It's exposing a lot of relationships and things that are going on in relationships that are not right. I'm happy for this generation of women because it appears that there is a lot of attention, a lot of support, and a lot of revelations and revealing of what is going on in their lives. And women need to stop accepting abuse if that's what's going on in your life. You have protection. You have people around that will support you. And you are seeing that women are coming forward. Women are not tolerating being beaten, right, for love, being beaten for friendship, being beaten just to say that I'm in a relationship, and trying to hold up the image of the other person to say that, oh, to the world, for the world to look at you and say, oh, they're in a wonderful relationship. You know, that's kind of dying out. That's kind of dying out now. Doesn't matter whether you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship nowadays. You know, people are not going to kill themselves to be in a relationship. They're not going to sacrifice being beaten and verbally abused and physically abused just to say that I have a husband, or just to say that I have a man lied to and cheated on. And why are we tolerating this kind of behavior because uh because it's a man? Because it's a man, it's okay? No. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. You know, the world is kind of weird. It's kind of crazy right now for you to think that because it's a man that you should be beat up. Hold on a minute. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so now they're asking the judge, USA, should we put off the cross-examination until tomorrow? USA Johnson USA Johnson says, no, we'd like to start the cross-examination now to be sure to finish. To be sure to finish. The judge says, Miss Estavio. The judge says, Miss Estavio. Holmes's Estavio says, we'll be finished by the end of the week. Combs Estavio says she will be finished by the end of the week, and that means Cassie. The judge says, so no cross-examination today? So the judge says, no cross-examination today? Samaranian says, we'll make up the time in other ways. The judge says, we'll make up time in other ways. The jury. The judge says, get the jury. The USA says the witness can be excused. The USA says the witness can be excused. The judge says yes. The judge says yes. So it looks like Cassie is going to have a break and everything will be resumed back tomorrow. Cross-examination will resume tomorrow because it's 4:30 and the courts close at 5. So, I guess this will give everybody time to start packing up and leaving out of the city. So, there you have it, everybody. There you have it. I will be trying to cover a little bit of this case for you guys, so you can check in periodically to hear what is going on. This will be going on for the next 8 weeks here in New York City. And everybody is there. Everybody's downtown. You have news reporters from all over the world covering this story. So Cassie, she answered a lot of questions today. She's been going through a lot. She's 8.5 months pregnant. So I hope she can endure the rest of this week. Let me check and see if there's anything else. Okay, so now the jury is coming back in, and the judge says, "I'm sorry, jury, to bring you in just to be sending you home." Says, "Don't read anything else more about this hearing." The judge says, "Don't read anything more about this hearing." The judge says, "All rise." And the jury exits. The jury exits. The judge says, "Miss Comey." The USA Comey says, "This is what the defense has sent us about Rule 412. So it looks like everybody is leaving now, and be resuming back tomorrow. All right, you guys. I hope that I gave you some good information today, and stay tuned.